We are so excited about our new ELA curriculum and the new resources to help you support your instruction this year. Pretty soon, you're going to go through a step-by-step checklist to help you learn more about all of the resources that are on the iReady platform. But I want to first share a couple of things to keep you on the right track. When you click on Assess and Teach, you are going to see a few available resources. The tools for instruction over here are going to be a resource that will help more with targeted instruction in your small groups based on that iReady instructional groupings report. So those are great resources, but they're not the core instruction. For magnetic resources, you are going to go over here to the teacher toolbox. And you're going to see that writing and math are also listed as options, but they are not resources that we have adopted. So you certainly could use them to supplement your instruction if needed, but they are not currently a district approved resource. So you're going to choose reading, which is then going to take you to the toolbox. The most important thing to do here at first is to make sure you are on the correct subject, which is reading, of course, and also the correct program. Mine starts on different things depending on what computer. Sometimes it starts on magnetic reading, sometimes it starts on Ready Mo. So you need to make sure that you click on that drop down, and 3rd through 5th grade is using magnetic reading. The differences here are magnetic reading foundations and Ready Mo are kindergarten, 1st, and 2nd grade resources. 3rd through 5th grade is only using magnetic reading. And this is also what you have a copy of. But keep in mind that the online platform that we're looking at now has a lot more resources that are not available in your teacher manual or your student workbook. So you're going to want to familiarize yourself with these as well. So basically you can see all of these resources on the main page in each of these columns. So this whole section is whole class, and then you have some small group differentiation options. But you could also choose to see everything that goes in a lesson all in one place. So you would just click on that unit or that lesson. The unit is just a unit opener. There's just a couple resources there. When you're ready for your first lesson, if you click there on the lesson link, you're going to have everything you need here on one page. Okay, so basically you're seeing all of those same things on the previous page with the columns, but you can see them all in one place. So notice the different sections. So we have instruction book. So this is right here, your student book, your teacher book, and then this is a very helpful resource. These are downloadable slides that go step by step through your teacher book, which is great. So you have everything right there. The next section are interactive tutorials. So whatever the skill is that you're working on is going to have that My Path lesson for the student. So if you wanted to assign something that goes along with your standard that you're working on, you could do that. The other two, tools for scaffolding comprehension and tools for instruction, are those resources that are going to help you with differentiation. Okay, so basically like in your small groups. So to get back to the main page, we just scroll back up to the top and click back. And the one thing I want you to be aware of before exploring on your own is that this unit opener, there it is, sorry. This unit opener has a lot more resources that are not available in your teacher edition at all. Okay, so specifically you'll see some vocabulary and spelling resources, which are going to be there. So let's take a minute and talk about vocabulary and spelling in the Northwest District. Okay, so in your curriculum folder, which is going to look kind of like this. These are extra pieces while we're still working on the curriculum. You're going to, let's just start with 3rd grade. You're going to see inside your appendix a word study folder. Okay, so that's in your grade level ELA, appendix, and then word study. So as you probably know by now, the science of reading research tells us that word study is such a critical component of teaching reading to all students, even upper elementary students, but it's one of those things in the upper grades that often gets pushed aside due to time constraints sometimes. It is very important that these lessons are taught systematically because they do build on one another throughout the year, and they really are going to fill in those gaps that students are struggling with. If you look at your grade level pacing guide, whether it's 3rd, 4th, or 5th, you are going to see down at the bottom, well, here's your first, your magnetic pacing guide, being a writer, and then down here is where you're going to see that word study. So when we say word study, we're talking about the benchmark word study program. You have that kit in your room, and I've also downloaded all of the lessons electronically for you so that you can access them right here in this folder as well. So if we just click on that on your grade level pacing guide, that would open up that same folder that we were just in. So let's take a minute and look. These are all the word study lessons that are also in your kit. And then here, that looks familiar probably to you. That's that introduction booklet there about word study. But we're going to take a minute and look at spelling words, okay? So when you look at the spelling words document, you're going to see over here on this left column your benchmark word study, okay, that we just talked about. And so these are the words that you are explicitly teaching based on word patterns, and each of these are links that will take you directly to that unit. So you are going to be working all throughout the year using that pacing guide, teaching these lessons systematically. Those are also your spelling words, okay? So this list right here are all of the spelling words for that unit. Now, when I say unit in word study, it really is a weekly lesson. Okay, so they mean the same thing. They just programs call units and lessons different things. So these are your spelling words. And then over here on the right side is where you see magnetic, reading, spelling, and vocabulary list. So basically what's happening is you're teaching this skill. The first one happens to be compound words. The next one's adding ing. And those are your spelling words. And then you can choose any of these words from your magnetic list that you want to add over to your base spelling list, okay? And you're going to notice all of your magnetic spelling words are suffixes, and they keep repeating themselves over and over. So if you look at lesson 1, we have ed, ing, and est suffixes. Same for lesson 2. Lesson 3, we just add the ly and take off the ing. And we keep repeating that over and over, and then it's going to add one more and continue on with multiple times to practice those suffixes. So these shouldn't be very long lessons. You're basically teaching the suffix, how it's used, and then you can add a couple of those words to your main spelling list. The ones that are bolded are also vocabulary words that are pointed out in magnetic reading. And so you're going to see those in the student text that they read for that actual lesson. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled those vocabulary words out just so you have them in a separate document, not mixed in with spelling. So you'll see there's lesson 1, it's called clever thinking. Those are 4 of the words that were also listed over here on your spelling list. So those 4 bold words are also vocabulary. So you get to choose which of these, if any or all, that you want to add to your spelling list. What is important to know with those is that when you go back to your teacher toolbox and you're in that Unit 1 opener, you have some resources to support you with those words. So the Building Knowledge with Vocabulary, this is a student paper that is going to have those words that were bolded. And so if you wanted students to kind of rate their knowledge of that word, and think of the definition, and then also, use it in a sentence or something like that, you could. You could also use the vocabulary graphic organizer that comes with each of those unit openers. So that is basically how your spelling and vocabulary resources are used. So now you're going to take some time and explore just all the whole platform, all the different resources that iReady has to support magnetic reading. And if you have any questions, be sure to put them on a Post-it and then add them to the parking lot, and we can answer those questions at a later time.